Hi, I'm T. Winnie, a recently retired teacher, slow traveling the world one stay at a time. I spent 5 weeks in South Africa, and during that time, I had some great experiences. One of my favorite things to do in South Africa was wine touring and wine tasting. In this video, I want to share all of the great wine tastings and wine tours that we went on. It was a fabulous experience. Our first tour was at Group Constantia. I booked it directly through the winery, and we just took an Uber to the location. Unfortunately, our Uber dropped us off at the wrong location, and we had to take about a 15-minute walk to get to the actual winery. Once we got to the winery, we met up with our sommelier and we started our wine tasting. We had a really great time. He explained all of the pairings and he was very generous with his wine pours. There are 2 restaurants available on the wine estate, so we walked to one of them. As you can see, by this time we were feeling pretty fine. That's my niece, it's her 40th birthday. So we had a nice little walk to the restaurant. So we get to this cute little restaurant. The food was delicious. It wasn't African food, it was more Mediterranean type food, I think, but it was really, really good. We enjoyed our meal. Our second wine tasting experience was done through the Franschhoek wine tram. It is a system of trams and buses that take you to all of the local wineries. It was a cloudy morning, but I enjoyed the views nonetheless. Cape Town is really stunning. So my niece had an interest in specific wineries. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just along for the ride. So we chose the orange route. And once we got on the train, we were treated to our first free sample of wine. Our first stop was the Boschendal Estates. So we got off of the tram and walked to the restaurant that is on site. It was still morning time, so we decided we'd better eat something before we really dived into wine tasting. We sat outside, ordered our meal, and it did take quite a while for our food to come, but hey, we enjoyed the company and also the experience. It was a delicious breakfast, very fresh, very flavorful. Thoroughly enjoyed it and really set the stage for the remainder of the day. After breakfast, we went about some wine tasting. And I actually had one of my favorite wines out of my time there in South Africa, which was the Boschendal Brut. It was delicious. We ended up spending quite a bit of time at this particular winery because I think our scheduling was a little off, especially with eating breakfast. And because of that, we only got to stop at 2 wineries on this particular day. Our next stop was at the Babylon Store and Estate. This estate was absolutely stunning with the mountains and the clouds as the backdrop. I mean, I really could have sat there for hours just looking out the window. It was gorgeous. And to be perfectly honest, I had quite a bit of wine at the first stop, so I didn't want to do another tasting. I just got a glass of wine and we ordered a very beautiful charcuterie board. One of the very last things that we did in Cape Town was a wine tour to Stellenbosch, which was a small group tour. We were picked up directly in front of our Airbnb, which was great, very convenient, and we had a fantastic day of wine tasting. Our first stop was at the Fairview Estate, which is where I found my second favorite wine in Cape Town. I had a very delicious Riesling there. And we did a wine pairing with cheese. Fairview was a beautiful estate, and it was just the perfect day to really enjoy the property while we were waiting for our tasting. And along the way, we got to stop for views and pictures. And of course, with Tabletop Mountain and really the mountainscape around Cape Town, it was such a delight to see everything out in the open. Second stop was Franschhoek Cellar for lunch. And of course, while we were having lunch, we got to taste a variety of wines. And I tell you, these people are not stingy in the slightest. Very generous pours everywhere we went. We had such a fun group. Everyone was there to relax and have fun. And so it was kind of like we were with friends during the whole day. Our last tasting for the day was at the Labrie Estate, where we did a wine and chocolate pairing. After our last estate, we got to drive through Stellenbosch, which is a small college town, super cute and adorable. I decided to stop and have a coffee. My niece decided to have her last glass of wine, and the rest of the group joined us just for conversation and laughs. I would say overall, these 3 experiences were the highlights of my time in Cape Town. I really had a blast at each event. Thanks for watching to the end. Be blessed.